Vaughn comes back with another question. I have figured out a few things about this sport. That's bullshit. Vaughn knows a lot about it. It can race pretty well in the cool temps, but crumble every time in your Texas heat. 0 for 4. Any tips for your terrarium of hell? I'm going to start with this one, Vaughn. You need a better coach. I am available. No, that being said, Vaughn's a hell of an athlete. He's a sandbagger, but let's look at mentally because Vaughn lives up in Indiana. So let's pretend Vaughn wants to do Ironman Texas, which is late April here. It typically in southern Texas, it is when the first hot streak comes through. Normally it's like week of the race or week before. So Vaughn would have to do some extra training tricks, if you will, to kind of acclimate to the heat. But mentally, what can you do, if anything, Tommy, in your experience, what can you do to kind of offset extremes or things you're not prepared for in terms of the conditions?
I would, this is more, I don't like to dial into the physical realm and some of like the other things, but the thing I would encourage is specifically really paying a lot of attention to feel, like physiological feel during workouts. So like, what do I feel? And like, how am I feeling? How can I, like, when I start feeling this way, like my performance, and I'm only going to be able to push this hard until I start having like things are receding, if that makes sense. So like understanding like what are the precursors to like me feeling the impacts of dehydration. So just really dialing into in the training, like what that feels like within the execution of those workouts, because like that is a very hard thing. I am straight out just as fast running in Boulder, Colorado at 5,500 feet as I am in North Carolina at sea level because of the humidity. So it's totally, when we change environments like that, it's way harder for me to run there. And I can come home but it's so like that is a very real thing. But I think it really, we want to pay attention to how we feel so we can start to do the things that are going to continue to allow us to perform at that level. And I think in talking with your coaches and things like that, and it's maybe dialing into different nutrition and those things and having an increased awareness and understanding of, okay, I've got to amp up my hydration and nutrition to account for what's cooking out, right? Like all the water you're losing and the calories and the salt and the things like that. But those are tough situations. And I mean, even professional endurance athletes talk about the difficulty of going to some of those places where there's just extreme changes like that.
And they botch it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's harder to get right than wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Vaughn, and shameless plug, Vaughn, you need to come to Mind Right's triathlon camp down here in Houston. That'll help you get acclimated. March, I think 3rd to the 5th or something like that. Anyway, so I think that Vaughn, that's where you should be.
One other thing I've also heard other coaches talk about is like if you can get access to saunas and things like that, at least getting your body somewhat conditioned to that experience, maybe post-workout or something like that. Just not so trying exposure really.
Yeah, and Vaughn, you're a smart guy and a coach yourself. If you just do a quick Google search for heat acclimation for endurance athletes, there's a ton of stuff. I'm working with a guy now, and we're going to start implementing some more stuff than we've been doing in the past. And there's a ton of research, like actual legit clinical research done on this. So it's not just me making up bullshit. So go check that out, Vaughn. Hit me up if you need some links or anything.